Thank you for stopping by GardenStateWeather.com, New Jersey, and the Northern Mid-Atlantic region's weather news portal. I'm forecaster Robert Smith, and this is the weekly forecast discussion for Monday, April 4th, 2011, right through next weekend. Taking a look at some of the latest surface observations and satellite and radar and watches and warnings across the eastern half of the United States. Temperatures still holding in the lower to mid 40s across the northeast, and they're warming now. They're into the 40s and 50s across northern and southern and central New Jersey. They're starting to pop now into the lower 60s across Delaware and southern New Jersey and Maryland, as this warm front is now a snaking warm front. All the precipitation now across northeastern New York and northern New England. And as I mentioned yesterday in the forecast discussion, sunshine is breaking out now across central and southern New Jersey, and especially across the Delmarva area, where temperatures are responding now, with temperatures already rising well into the 60s. And we find temperatures this afternoon, early this afternoon, all the way into the 60s and low to 70s, all the way down to the Florida coast. This is a very strong line of severe weather that is associated with a cold front that will be moving through our direction over the next 24 hours. And our latest radar indicates that all the precipitation now associated with the warm front now is well into New York State. The warm front is still south of the area through southern and through central Jersey and just south of New York City this morning, late this morning, and that's going to be coming through here during this afternoon. So the winds are going to start to shift around into the south and southwest like they have been doing from central and southern New Jersey southward, and the temperatures are going to respond because sunshine is going to begin to break out. This line back in here from north to south, all the way from western New York now all the way to Texas, is a band of showers and embedded thunderstorms with watches and warnings around them. This is a very strong cold front. Temperatures behind it, if you can notice now, over Michigan and the upper Midwest around Wisconsin are in the 30s and back into the 40s in Kansas, while temperatures ahead of that are running in the 50s all the way to the upper 70s and around 80 degrees. So this is a very dynamic cold front coming through, and we're going to have showers and thunderstorms come through here tomorrow as well. Give you a perspective now of what we're actually looking at in terms of watches and warnings. We've got aerial flood watches now, which will expire tomorrow, April 5th, across upstate New York, because the warm front isn't going to get that much further north than it is now. And there's going to be training areas of precipitation along this front over the next 24 hours, and that's going to bring rivers and roads up to bankful, and that's why there's an aerial flood watch for that. And also because of all the rain that's backing through here, the thunderstorms and heavy showers are going to trail to the northeast as this front makes its way through tomorrow morning. So very heavy rain coming to upstate New York. We've got gale warnings in effect now along the coast. Very strong winds now all the way up from Maine all the way down to the Florida coast. We've got small craft advisories and gale warnings in effect for very strong winds right through Tuesday. Down to the south, wind advisories also for Western Virginia all the way down through Florida. And also we've got high surf warnings down into the Gulf area. I'm not going to try to forecast too much into that, look into that area too much. Just want to talk about the severe thunderstorm watches in effect until 1 o'clock today across the upper Midwest and the Ohio Valley. We've got tornado watches and also severe thunderstorm watches in effect for the Tennessee and Mississippi Valley right through late this afternoon as this cold front makes its way east, and very heavy rain, showers, and embedded strong thunderstorms with lightning in it move across the region. This is a look at the current lightning now across anywhere from western New York State all the way down to Texas. This is within the last hour to hour and a half. Numerous strikes across the entire Mississippi and Ohio and Tennessee Valley all the way down to the Arklatex area of Texas. And a closer look this early Monday afternoon, April the 4th, we find all these blues up in here, these little raindrops. This is where the areas of rain are falling now under these clouds that are streaming northeast, well ahead of a very active cold front just to the west approaching the Ohio Valley. And all of these clouds here through southern New England now, New York State into Connecticut and Massachusetts. This is all associated with the warm air advection that is well ahead of the warm front. There's a lot of rain underneath here, and some embedded thunderstorms too. And we find some of this because we have lightning strikes all across western Pennsylvania now, and even had some lightning strikes across this area here over southwestern Connecticut, but those are dying. We see this area, this general area across southern New England now in a general area of thunderstorms over the next 24 hours. That's going to become more of a problem as we head into tomorrow. And then in this green line, this arc that lies down here through Pennsylvania all the way through Maryland and eastern into the Carolinas, this is an area where we're going to find general moderate to severe thunderstorms occurring over the next 24 hours. And of course, down here through the Tennessee Valley, the area that is circled in red is an area of moderate risk for severe thunderstorms today, and that will be ongoing as the cold front approaches well to the west. Notice the temperatures now in St. Louis cooled down to 47, back into Columbia at 46. Well ahead of that, Louisville down through Tennessee now into the 60s and 70s now in Jackson, 78 at Jackson, Mississippi. And temperatures here in New Jersey, too, have warmed up considerably, and they are now running anywhere from the mid-50s, upper 40s around Yonkers now, and into the 58 near southeastern Pennsylvania, and into the 60s and 70s now across Maryland, and also into parts of Richmond, Virginia, and Delaware as well, running a little bit cooler. Still with the south-southwest wind, south-southeast wind. You can see the clouds beginning to break up here, so sunshine definitely now across this area, across the central and northern mid-Atlantic region, and that's the reason why the temperatures are popping and the winds are southwest, and they're becoming quite strong this afternoon, well ahead of this cold front and well to the north now of the warm front. And this statement just coming in now from the National Weather Service office in Mount Holly, New Jersey. This would be for Atlantic, Camden, Cape May, Cumberland, Gloucester, northwestern Burlington, Ocean, Salem, southeastern Burlington, and western Monmouth. Increased fire danger this afternoon across most of southern New Jersey, extreme southeastern Pennsylvania, most of Delaware, and most of Maryland's eastern shore. Temperatures soaring into the 70s this afternoon, possibly record levels by 5 p.m. in some of these locales. Southwest winds gusting between 30 and 45 miles an hour. Humidity drops into the 30 to 40% range this afternoon. This combination of factors with strong winds, low humidity, dry, fine fuels could lead to an increased rate of spread of any fires that develop. All residents and travelers through this area are urged to exercise caution handling any potential ignition source, including machinery, cigarettes, and matches. Be sure to properly discard all smoking materials. Dry grasses and tree litter that ignite will have the potential to spread very quickly. And as I mentioned this afternoon, there is that strong wind gust expected through the afternoon. There's a wind advisory now in effect for gusty southwest winds developing during this afternoon with the passage of that warm front approaching 50 miles an hour at times across Atlantic coastal, Cape May, Cumberland, southeastern Burlington, all of southern New Jersey, the Delmarva Peninsula this afternoon. The wind advisory remains in effect until 1 o'clock this afternoon through 6 p.m. this evening. And that means that locations the southern two-thirds of Delaware, Maryland, eastern shore, and a portion of southeastern New Jersey, southwest winds at 15 to 30 miles an hour, scattered gust up to 50 miles an hour away from the coolest effects of the nearby coastal waters. And the impacts may cause small branches and break and affect travel in high-profile vehicles, as well as that fire danger that we just talked about a moment ago. And we're running out of time, so I'm going to stop this broadcast for this afternoon and continue the week ahead, which is going to be a very active one. It could be a very wet one, too, come Friday afternoon and Friday night. There could even be some thunderstorms in the area. We'll talk about that and some periods of heavy rain, too. And this is another system. This is another cold front and storm system moving through the mid-Atlantic region on the weekend. And we'll get into all the details during tonight's broadcast. For GardensStateWeather.com, I'm forecaster Robert Smith. You make it a good afternoon.